Right now at 6, a head-on crash claims the life of a Southeast Kansas man.
And a very cold start to our work week out there with some very gusty winds as well. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, patrol vehicles are getting an upgrade in Ottawa County, Oklahoma.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday. It is January the 19th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So kids out of school in most cases. Some folks don't have to go to work, others do. And if you don't have to go out today, honestly, don't.
No.
It is way too cold out there this morning. It's going to be way too cold out there through the entire day as well.
The only thing that helps is like when I walk outside, it is like an instant wake up for me at 3 in the morning because I walk outside. I'm like, oh, it is cold, guys.
For me,
it is cold.
An instant let's go back to bed is what it is if I go outside in this stuff. But it is cold out there. It's breezy this morning as well, keeping those wind chills down. We're going to start, of course, with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh. And again, every so often, man, this camera shakes like we're having an earthquake out there because our winds are actually a little breezier now than what they're going to be in the next half hour or so. Now they're still hi, how are you? Whoa, I'm also shorter too, aren't I? Okay, well, that's all right. So it's my I love it so. Oh well, we're gonna get there. Okay, let's just get through all this. Okay, it's cold, all right? These cameras aren't going to show the cold, all right? They just simply show that there's roads out there, and the roads are still there, which is good. 19 in Joplin, 20 in Pittsburgh. Robots, man, it's AI and robots, and with their powers combined, I'm going to vanish. It's what's going to happen. But look at these temperatures, though. We're into the upper teens and low to mid-20s out there. So in some cases, we're pretty close to normal, but then you factor in those gusty winds and look at those wind chills into the single digits. It feels like 3 in Stockton, 2 in Greenfield. A bitterly cold start to the day, to say the least. Cloudy skies, some flurries possible out there as well, but not much from that. We'll have those gusty north winds. As we go later into the day, the skies will begin to clear from north to south. The winds will actually become calm by later this evening before switching out of the southwest overnight tonight. Our highs today not far from where our average low is supposed to be, into the upper 20s. Again, skies gradually clearing for us, and those north winds 10 to 15, gusting to 25, keeping our wind chills at about 5 to 10 above zero for most of the day. Now we're going to warm up tomorrow and Wednesday, and it's going to get cold again, and we're watching some snow chances Friday into Saturday. We're going to go over all of that with you in the full forecast in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Police are still searching for the suspect involved in a violent assault yesterday. Police in Springdale, Arkansas were alerted to a disturbance early yesterday morning. Officers arrived to find a female suffering multiple stab wounds. She was rushed to a hospital and her status is currently unknown. The suspect has been identified as 25-year-old Ladarius Green, who fled the scene with a young passenger. Their car crashed in Fayetteville and Green fled the scene. However, the juvenile was still in the vehicle and was able to be reunited with his family. Investigators believe this is an isolated incident and there is no threat to the public. A Neosho man was arrested again this week for possession of child pornography. Blake Altman, a registered sex offender, was arrested by the Newton County Sheriff's Office in Missouri on a warrant issued by Texas investigators. He's charged with promotion of child sexual abuse material. Altman pled guilty in 2017 to the charges of receiving and distributing child pornography. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison but was out by February 2021. This investigation is ongoing. A head-on crash claimed the life of the Southeast Kansas man just west of Pittsburgh Saturday afternoon. The Kansas Highway Patrol says 37-year-old Craig Sylvie of Cherokee died at the scene. Troopers say Sylvie was driving a Ford pickup and passing multiple vehicles at a high rate of speed when he collided head-on with a Chevy Malibu. The Malibu was driven by 16-year-old Layla Sharbut of Girard, who suffered minor injuries. A passenger in her vehicle, 48-year-old Heather Burgess, also of Girard, was seriously injured. Kansas Highway 126 was closed for nearly 3 hours as troopers investigated the fatal crash. A sheriff's department in Oklahoma is approved to purchase and replace used patrol vehicles. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more.
After using their fleet for the last 5 years, the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office has been approved to purchase up to 10 used patrol vehicles to update their fleet.
So we're taking a big portion of our sheriff's grant from this go-around and trying to replace the patrol vehicles. Hopefully, in the near future, we'll be able to replace our 5 admin vehicles, which consist of 3 or 4 unmarked detective vehicles.
Under Sheriff Ferdig told us that buying used vehicles gives the department more leeway with spending.
Buying used, we're able to save money and we're able to get more vehicles versus just maybe 2, possibly 3 brand new ones.
Patrol cars are vital for any police department, acting as a mobile workstation for many police officers. By buying more up-to-date vehicles, the department hopes to give their officers updated tools to work effectively.
It's just like any department across the nation. For a patrolman, I mean that's sometimes their office. They spend 8 hours to 12 hours, depending on the shift schedule. They spend it in that vehicle. That vehicle is a tool.
In Ottawa County, Oklahoma, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. A small town in Georgia is pushing back after learning it is under consideration for a massive new ICE detention facility. And a cloudy and cold start to your week, but more sunshine ahead Tuesday. Chris will have a look at your week's forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, the battle over Greenland is getting red hot, following President Donald Trump's threat to impose 10% tariffs on goods for 8 European countries if they don't support his quest to acquire Greenland. The European Union held an emergency meeting Sunday to come up with a response. Protesters taking to the streets in Greenland this weekend, upset with President Donald Trump's attempt to take over the autonomous territory ruled by the Kingdom of Denmark. The Trump administration is threatening a 10% tariff on 8 European countries if they don't back his plan to annex Greenland, saying it's essential to U.S. national security. European leaders have blasted President Trump's actions, including French President Emmanuel Macron, who said on social media, quote, "We will ensure that European sovereignty is upheld." Democratic Senator Tim Kaine and Republican Senator Ron Paul are exploring options to ease tensions on the issue. Kaine said he and Paul are considering 3 options, including writing in a new war powers resolution regarding Greenland. They are also looking at challenging Trump's plan for new tariffs on European countries that don't support the move, as well as relying on a law prohibiting a U.S. NATO withdrawal without congressional approval. Just days ago, Donald Trump announced the creation of a board of peace to oversee the reconstruction of Gaza. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio are among the members of the board, with President Trump as its chairman. And now there are reports anyone who wants a permanent seat on the board must pay $1 billion. The money will be used to rebuild Gaza. Board members who do not make the payment can serve a 3-year term. But the president invited leaders of several countries to be members of the board. However, the board has no representative from the Palestinian Authority. It's a Hamas rival that runs part of the occupied West Bank. A small town in Georgia is pushing back after learning it is under consideration for a massive new ICE detention facility. The town of Social Circle, east of Atlanta, came together with their message to keep immigration officials out. Rafael Romo spoke with residents about why they're united in opposition.
Social Circle is a very sweet, small town in Georgia. It's a very conventional, old-fashioned, lovely little town.
But all that may be about to change in this town of 5,000, located about 45 miles east of Atlanta.
Is this a conversation that is being had?
Oh yeah, people around the town are all talking about it.
Many people here, like Gareth Fenley, are convinced that the federal government wants to convert this warehouse in a detention center for as many as 10,000 immigrants, which would triple the town's population.
I myself am also against having ICE transform industrial warehouses into detention centers. I think that's a really, really bad idea from a human rights perspective.
Fenley, a human rights activist, says she organized a protest when she received a tip that people from out of town were going to survey the facility. David Keener, who's starting his 7th year as mayor of Social Circle, is opposed as well.
Painful. I don't want that here. This is not the town for that. If I had to sum it up in 2 words, go away.
And so is the town leadership for reasons, they say, that have nothing to do with politics or the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration.
It has nothing to do with what the political situation is. For us, it simply just comes down to the fact that we're a small town of 5,000 people. We have a very limited water and sewer infrastructure. It's too close to elementary school.
Social Circle Elementary is located only 4,000 feet from the warehouse. John Miller, a businessman who owns horse stables across the street from the warehouse, says the entire town is united against this, even beyond political differences.
Regardless of your ideological bent, most people in Social Circle are about Social Circle first. We're about our lifestyle.
CNN asked the Department of Homeland Security about the issue, but so far, there has been no reply. As CNN reported in October, DHS is funneling $10 billion through the Navy to help facilitate the construction of a sprawling network of migrant detention centers across the U.S.
I don't know that it's a done deal. No one has contacted me from ICE nor federal government nor the property owner. And as of today, we've not received an application for a detention center in that location.
For Georgia's greatest little town, it's a battle residents say they can't afford to lose.
Still to come, new research finds that taking Tylenol during pregnancy is not linked to an increased risk of autism. Plus, a cloudy and cold start to your week, but more sunshine ahead Tuesday. Chris will have a look at your week's forecast. Well, welcome back. We've got Lori Langley in the studio with us today. And, on a cold day like today, what better thing to do than spend some time in the kitchen?
Absolutely. It's a perfect day to just go turn on the oven, bake something, warm up the kitchen a little bit. It helps on these kind of gloomy, cold days. But and what we're going to make today is going to be the perfect thing because it's so good, so easy, but it really just feels like it's a little bit fancier than it is. So we're going to start out with an 8x8 pan. I would really recommend using an actual cake pan on this one as opposed to a disposable pan because this is going to go in pretty liquid, pretty squishy, so those aluminum pans sometimes can be a little awkward to get into the oven safely. Start out with that good aluminum pan or good regular pan. What I'm going to do though is what I started out with is just some pieces of parchment paper, and this is kind of a little simple tip that I love to do, and turn our pan upside down and use that to measure your pieces instead of trying to fit them down in the pan. That's always so awkward and hard to cut. This makes it really simple. We want 2 pieces that are just the length of the bottom of our pan and up both sides, because when we put them in, we're going to crisscross those so that we make a perfect little piece that will lift out of that pan. Easy peasy, no mess. Just make sure those tabs are up on all 4 corners.
Because it's always the worst when it gets stuck.
It is, it's so bad. And this just makes it so it's going to literally come out in one nice solid piece. Make it easy to cut and you're not scratching up your pan or anything like that. So what we're going to add to that pan is kind of a crust. So I'm going to scooch that out of the way. We're going to start with some graham cracker crumbs, and if you don't have the already smushed up ones, you're going to use about 8 or 9 graham crackers in there. We're going to add to that about a half a stick of butter, and I just melted this a little bit in the microwave and then just let it sit here and kind of come back to room temperature. So it's not melted, it's not liquid, but it's really nice and soft, so it's going to make it very easy to mix in. And then a little dash of sugar. And we're going to take that and just mush all of this together. What we want to create is kind of a wet sand. It's not going to be soft. It's not going to be pourable. It's not going to look a whole lot different than our graham crackers by themselves, but a little bit clumpy. So let me get this just well incorporated. You actually can do this with clean hands. Works really well too, or a fork. And then we're gonna press this fully into the bottom of our pan. And this is where my favorite tool, which is a broken measuring cup, works so well to just evenly pat things that down into the pan. It's got good even corners on it. So that's gonna be what we start with. While we're on a break between our segments, I've got my cream cheese setting out here because we want this to come to room temperature before we move on to the next step, because this is kind of a layered dessert before we put that in the oven. So we're gonna get our base, kind of our crust, all nice and ready to go. When we come back, we're gonna work on that, what's gonna be kind of our cheesecake layer. Ooh. It's the best part, I promise. But the toppings are what really set it off, and you can customize those to whatever you want.
I can't wait to see it come together, Lori. Well, thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:23 now on this Monday morning. We're going to start with the future tracker. Again, for today, a good portion of the day, we're cloudy, we're breezy, we are cold out there, but skies will begin to clear from north to south as we head through the late afternoon into the evening hours. By late evening, winds will actually become calm before they pick up again out of the southwest. Initially, not too bad overnight, but then those southwest winds will begin to increase throughout our Tuesday and start gusting upwards of 25 again. But because they're out of the southwest, that does signal some warmer weather for us. Temperatures a little closer to average as we head into Tuesday afternoon. Not a lot going on other than the breezes, and we've got a few clouds Tuesday night into Wednesday. They clear out pretty quickly. Winds will shift out of the northwest out as we go through our Wednesday. We should still be a bit on the warmer side, getting closer to normal for us on Wednesday. Then we're watching some chances for some snow later this week, which we're going to break down in just a moment. As for today, though, it's cloudy, and that's where we're going to be through the morning. Temperatures not moving too much. We're going to be into the low 20s. We're going to have those north winds gusting occasionally upwards of 25. Now, this morning they've been a bit gustier than what they're going to be a little later. We've seen some gusts 30, 35. Later today, they're gusting to 25. Skies gradually clearing only into the upper 20s for our highs, and our wind chills at about 5 to 10 above zero. And that'll actually be the same case tonight. It's just, even though we're colder, the winds ease up. Southwest 5 to 10, clear and back into the upper teens. Now, I see a lot of data out there, a lot of conflicting data rather, as we go into Friday, followed by Saturday. Late Friday evening, afternoon into the evening, I should say, we start to see some snow chances. Now, the model data going this far out is all over the place. We're only a few days away, and it is all over the place in terms of snow chances heading into Friday and Saturday. Now, by Saturday afternoon, it's done. It's not a very long system. Where we're running into the issues is its exact track and how much energy it can pull in. And so there are snow totals going really far out, especially if you get down into Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas. There are snow totals out there that are all over the place. You just saw it. You saw it quickly. The snow was done. It comes in by about 4 or 5 o'clock Saturday or Friday evening and is done by about noon on Saturday. Here's one computer's thinking of potential snow totals. This is going to change. This is going to change a lot just today, let alone over the next few days. But you can see even this far out, it's like 1 to 4 inches. Some data says that this thing tracks a little further south. We barely get a dusting of snow. Some of the data says it tracks a little further north, picks up a little more energy, and we get more snow than this. So we have to wait and see. Do not panic. Do not go and rush the grocery stores for their bread and milk and everything else, at least not yet. We'll keep a close eye on it. We're still a few days out. With winter weather, there's always a dozen changes or more that end up taking place, and so we'll keep an eye on it. We'll let you know if there's, that need arises to go out and, stock the house up. Again, either way, it's only a one-day event at most, maybe 12 to 16 hours before it's over, but we'll keep an eye on it. So today, cold, upper 20s, upper 40s tomorrow, near 50 Wednesday. Temperatures start dropping again as we head into the weekend. We'll see what happens with these snow chances. And then after that, we stay pretty cold as we start next week as well. That is a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Samantha now with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. New research finds that taking Tylenol during pregnancy is not linked to an increased risk of autism. That would debunk a claim President Donald Trump made last year that there is a link. The research was revealed in a paper published Friday. It found no indication that children born to mothers who used acetaminophen during pregnancy have an increased likelihood of autism. More than 40 published studies on prenatal acetaminophen exposure and potential links with child neurodevelopment were reviewed. In all, data on more than 300,000 pregnancies. Experts say there are several potential causes of autism, including genetics, older age of parents, and prenatal exposure to air pollution or certain pesticides. Well, a stunning development after the Denver Broncos knocked off the Buffalo Bills 33-30 on Saturday to advance to the American Football Conference Championship. The Broncos quarterback Bo Nix suffered a broken right ankle towards the end of the game. Coach Sean Payton announced Nix is expected to undergo surgery early next week, and Nix will be out for the remainder of the season. The game was tied at 30 in regulation and then went into overtime. Nix threw for 3 touchdowns during the game and finished the game despite the injury. Backup quarterback Jarrett Stidham will replace Nix next week. He has only appeared in 1 game this year. Denver will play the winner of Sunday's game between the New England Patriots and the Houston Texans for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. Now we're hearing from a man with a rare disease that causes his skin to tear and blister at the slightest touch. He first came to Minnesota legally to get medical attention, and then he ended up in ICE custody, which severely aggravated his condition. We need to warn you that some viewers could find the following report graphic. Connor White reports.
Mohammed Duklef and Hani Dugloff have always been a team. On Saturday, the brothers brewed coffee, but it's rare they have a mission that simple. The Duklofs left Libya in 2014, arriving in Minnesota on visas to seek medical care. They have a rare skin condition called epidermolysis bullosa, or EB.
Blisters and the skin can kick off very easy.
They've each participated in clinical trials to help others. Handi became one of the faces of St. Paul College on his way to working an IT job. An American dream threatened on January 10th. As Hani told his brother, he was getting pulled over on the highway in Wisconsin.
Later on, he called me at night and he said, "I'm at ICE detention center." Since they handcuffed me, I felt like being treated like a criminal. First time having handcuffs on my hands.
Hani says ICE brought him to what he described as an overcrowded federal Whipple building at Fort Snelling, immediately running into problems related to his condition. Documents show agents took him to M Health Fairview Southdale Hospital once they realized they were unable to meet his needs, including the fact that he can only eat soft foods. His feet shackled at the hospital. Handi quickly found himself back at Whipple, where problems persisted.
Yes, I can't eat the food that you provided. I need like soft food for me, something I can eat. He said, "I'm sorry, but this is not a 5-star hotel."
That was his response to your medical needs?
Yes.
The brothers sharing photos of injuries to his skin they say were sustained during detainment. Hani was released on the 15th after posting bond.
It's a mix of system failure because Hani followed every single process legally.
Hani's status is uncertain, spending nearly 10 years trying to gain asylum. First applying as Libya descended into civil war, a place without the medical infrastructure to keep up with his needs. What happens to you if you go back to Libya?
I don't know, but it won't be something good.
Gaining citizenship after marrying an American, Mohammed is hopeful his brother will stay, and this team isn't broken up.
That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Carthage hosts its 3rd annual bridal market, bringing together local vendors and soon-to-be brides.
And a bitterly cold start to the day. Cloudy skies out there, gusty winds. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, the Pittsburgh Public Library hosts a special reading and discussion celebrating Kansas Matters.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:33. I'm Samantha Walker.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday, January the 19th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Of course, a lot of celebrations for that going on. If you're heading out to any of those celebrations today, any of the events, bundle up because as cold as it is right now, it will still be this cold as we head through the day today.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it, Chris.
I don't either. I mean, winter's got to arrive at some point, and boy, this is a little bit of a longer cold spell. We've got another longer cold spell coming up into the upcoming weekend, so we're starting to see that transition finally into winter.
We were spoiled.
I mean, yeah, we really were. I don't like the cold all that much, but we've got to have that winter season, and now we're starting to see that a bit out there. And if you are heading out this morning, bundle up. It is cold as we get this day started. Let's start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh. And again, you can see it looks okay. Skies are cloudy. Every so often, that camera goes in and starts to shake a bit with those gusty north winds. Some good news is winds were much gustier very early this morning. They are not so much now, though. Still breezy. I don't want to say that it's not windy by any means. It is still going to be breezy. It's just earlier this morning, we had those gusts 30, 35 miles an hour. They've come down just a wee bit. Westco camera, 7th and range line. Looks good so far as well. Heading over to the KDOT camera south of Pittsburgh. Again, not bad. Like I said, cloudy skies. That's really bad. And the breeze. That's cold. All right, MoDOT camera, 20th and range line in Joplin, looking good as well. Quick look at those temperatures. They don't look so friendly. 19 in Joplin right now, 20 in Pittsburgh. Keep in mind, average low this time of year is about 25. So down south, we're pretty close to that, into the mid-20s. A little further north, we've got upper teens and low 20s. And then you factor in the wind, and we're getting close to 0 here. Stockton feels like 1. 2 in Greenfield. Still a lot of single digits out there for those wind chills, which is why you've absolutely got to bundle up. Now we have the cloudy skies as we head through the afternoon and evening. They'll begin clearing from north to south, and then, believe it or not, at least for a wee bit, the winds will become calm late this evening before they transition out of the southwest overnight tonight. Our highs today about where our average lows should be as we eventually crawl really into the upper 20s out there. Skies clearing later through the day. North winds again gusting to 25. Now, it's going to be a little warmer tomorrow and Wednesday. Then it gets cold again, and we are watching some snow chances Friday into Saturday. We're going to go over all those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Chris, thanks. Carthage hosted the 3rd annual bridal market over the weekend, bringing together roughly 30 vendors, offering just about everything a bride-to-be might need to plan a wedding. The event, organized by Uniquely Yours Events and Celebrations, along with Julie Paul Ream, was held at 407 South Garrison Avenue. Organizers described the bridal market as a mix between a traditional bridal expo and an indoor garage sale, with specialty vendors and individuals selling leftover wedding items all under one roof. The Pittsburgh Public Library hosted a special reading and discussion celebrating Kansas Matters, a new anthology of poetry and prose exploring what it means to call the Sunflower State home. The collection brings together some of Kansas's leading literary voices, reflecting on the land, identity, history, and hopes for the future.
I like the way it preserves ideas for the future. That may sound cliche, but in a way, it tells the story of a group of us living now, and I mean that in a big sense, through all of Southeast Kansas, living and seeing this world around us and trying to make sense of it.
The free event drew readers in from all over, interested in Kansas literature, history, and contemporary cultural voices. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Roblox says it's adding new safety features for kids, but concerns remain about online risks on the platform. What parents need to know before their kids log on. Plus, new tax changes coming from the big beautiful bill could impact some seniors on moderate and lower incomes. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, in Consumer Watch, new tax changes from last summer's big beautiful bill could add extra money to some seniors on moderate and lower incomes. The new tax benefits for some seniors will begin this tax filing season. Many seniors age 65 and older can claim new benefits, whether they take the standard deduction or itemize. Some seniors will qualify for a new bonus deduction of up to $6 $1,000 for individuals and up to $12,000 for couples filing jointly. The deduction is designed to help lower and middle income retirees, allowing tens of millions to keep more of their income. The extra deduction phases out for seniors with a modified adjusted gross income of $75,000 for single filers and $150,000 for joint filers. The extra deduction currently isn't permanent in the tax code and is scheduled to expire after the 2028 tax year, but Congress could choose to extend the benefit. One artificial intelligence chatbot will no longer be free as its parent company moves to advertise on the platform. OpenAI has announced that its AI chatbot, ChatGPT, will soon begin to show advertisements to users who aren't paying for premium services. The company says it will start rolling out ad tests in the coming weeks. Ads will appear at the bottom of the chatbot's answers and will show relevant products or services based on the conversation you're having with the bot and will be clearly labeled and separated from your answers, and the company ensures that the ads won't influence the information that ChatGPT gives you. The turn towards ads is a company attempt to make it more profitable. While the company is valued at $500 billion, it loses more money than it makes because most ChatGPT users utilize it for free. Roblox says it's adding new safety features for kids, but concerns remain about online risks on the platform. Adus Gold reports.
If you have a child at home, there's a good chance they've played Roblox, where kids build and play user-generated games while chatting with others, paying for special avatars, abilities, and items along the way. But the open-ended nature of Roblox, as well as its chat functionalities, has led to major questions and lawsuits over child safety.
We did everything we thought we did. We did our best. We put the parental controls. We talked to my son about the dangers. Don't click any links. He thought he was corresponding with a minor. Little do we know it was a 30-something-year-old man.
We registered for Roblox as though we were a 10-year-old. Almost immediately, we came across worlds such as active shooter games. In this spray paint world, marketed to kids 5 and older, we saw inappropriate language within seconds and messages about dying along with an image of a stick figure in what appeared to be a noose. Roblox says that while it uses technology to block inappropriate content, those tools work best when paired with parental controls. Anger over safety issues has led to some of its own users, like 15-year-old Mason Hebden, to call for action.
Game I've seen inappropriate avatars with body parts that really shouldn't be in the game.
After hearing about so many kids' inappropriate experience on the game, he launched a petition calling for accountability from Roblox CEO and co-founder Dave Baszucki. The petition has more than 300,000 signatures.
Since he hasn't done anything at all in the past, multiple years, I feel like there needs to be a change with the CEO spot.
Roblox says it welcomes the feedback from the community.
We have been building safety systems for a long time, and we will continue to build and innovate and improve.
In addition to its existing parental controls and safety measures, Roblox is rolling out age-gating software that scans a user's face, estimates their age, and will only allow the player to chat with those in their age range.
We will have systems running in the background to detect if there's any kind of anomalous behavior on the account. So if we have any reason to believe that the person that used the facial age estimation system and verified their account is no longer operating that account, we'll introduce additional checks.
The company is also facing dozens of lawsuits, including by at least 4 states.
Today I'm announcing that my office is filing a lawsuit against Roblox for what we believe are serious failures to protect our kids. Roblox aggressively markets to young children, but fails to protect them from sexual predators.
If your child is playing Roblox, experts recommend the following tips. Register your child in the appropriate age range. Set up a parent account, link it to your child's, and engage parental controls. Only put approved friends on their chat list. Monitor their activity and keep open the lines of communication. For Mason's mom, Lena, figuring out how to manage the risks of a game like Roblox is just part of modern parenting.
There's really only so much a parent can do without fully taking the game away, so we have to make them as prepared as possible.
Adus Gold, CNN, New York.
That's it for Consumer Watch this morning, and now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Again, things look okay outside, but we've got cloudy skies, very cold temperatures and wind chills and gusty winds. It's going to remain that way most of today, slightly warmer over the next couple of days, and could see some white stuff later this week. We'll bring it all down for you and celebrate birthdays and anniversaries right after this. All right, time for some Monday birthdays. And we're going to begin with Jace Schwab celebrating birthday number 12. Happy birthday.
And we have some twin birthdays. Savannah and Tegan Shaw are celebrating birthday number 15. Happy birthday, Savannah and Tegan.
And we have Zoe Ware celebrating birthday number 15 as well. Happy birthday.
And Cody Rector is celebrating birthday number 19. Happy birthday, Cody.
And Connor Humble celebrating birthday number 19. Happy birthday to you.
And Brandon Alter is celebrating birthday number 21. Happy birthday.
And Jason Barnett celebrating birthday number 38. A very happy birthday to you.
And Wade Daniels is celebrating birthday number 39. Happy birthday, Wade.
And we've got Justin Schultz celebrating birthday number 46. Happy birthday.
And Jimmy Pingree and Debbie Reed are celebrating birthday number 59. Happy birthday, guys.
And we've got Walter Lowe celebrating birthday number 100. A very happy birthday to you, Walter. Very special birthday there. So talk about a milestone.
Yeah, definitely. And Michelle Hildebrand is celebrating another year. Happy birthday, Michelle.
And Gary Franklin celebrating another year wiser. Looks like he's just learning how to drive that car there. A very happy birthday to you, Gary.
And Michelle Hempel is celebrating another year older and wiser. Happy birthday, Michelle.
And Madison Graham celebrating a birthday today as well. Happy birthday.
And we can't forget Bart Hamilton, who is celebrating another year older and wiser. Happy birthday, Bart.
And Theda Lucian is celebrating a birthday as well. Happy birthday to you. And, of course, if you would like to celebrate birthdays or your anniversaries with us, there's some very simple information you need to jot down.
Yes, this email, birthdays@komnewsnow.com. That's where you can send those photos, birthdays, and anniversaries, but also make sure you pay attention to that deadline that you can see on your screen as well, so we can make sure we get it in plenty of time to be able to celebrate you on your special day.
Very important information there, and some very important weather information for you as well. So today it's cold, it's breezy, it's going to be cold, it's going to be breezy, but skies will eventually clear as we head into the afternoon from north to south. We're going to have gusty north winds. It's going to keep our wind chills roughly 5 to 10 above throughout most of the day. Now, by the late evening, the winds will actually become calm, and then they'll switch out of the southwest after midnight. And since they're not going to be as gusty initially overnight tonight, our wind chills, even though will be, of course, a little colder tonight, will be pretty similar to what we're expecting during the day because those winds will ease up a bit. But as we go through the day on Tuesday, those southwest winds will increase and they'll start gusting upwards of about 25 again, but we'll be a little closer to normal for Tuesday, going to the upper 40s. Now, Tuesday night into Wednesday, we get a few clouds here and there, and then we clear right back out by early Wednesday. Winds will eventually shift out of the north, and we should be at or maybe a little above average for our Wednesday. It's what's going to happen a little later this week. I'm sure many of you are already seeing discussions about, and we're going to discuss it with you in a moment as well. First this morning, cloudy skies out there. Not much. We're hanging out in the low 20s, and of course those gusty north winds pushing 25. They've eased up a bit since early this morning, but still very gusty. And our highs today, just a couple of degrees above what our average low should be for this time of year. So it is very cold into the upper 20s. Clear skies through the evening and overnight, falling back eventually into the upper teens. We do slow down. Like I said, southwest winds bring in some slightly warmer air, and that's what stops our temperatures from dropping any further. Now, Friday into Saturday, I'm sure you've seen it. Snow chances are there. Not gonna, that's it. Hey, we do have snow chances. Now, this computer going this far out is showing where snow could be from late Friday, we'll say after 4, through about, I'd say Saturday morning at maybe 10 a.m. at the latest. So, we have the snow chances, but there's still a lot of variables in play with this system, okay? There's data this far out still that shows it lifting pretty far north, which means we'd get quite a bit of snow. There's data that says it goes a little further south, which means then we don't see much snow, if any at all. So based on what we're looking at, kind of splitting the difference for now, and this is still going to be subject to change, we're looking at possibly, I want to emphasize, possibly 1 to maybe 4 inches of snow. But as I mentioned, some data suggests it could be a lot higher. Some of it says it could be a lot lower because it all depends on the track of this system and just how much energy it's able to pick up on as it approaches the area. So we are watching it. Do not go and clear the grocery stores of bread and milk just yet. We'll keep a close eye on it. A lot is going to change. This is going to be very different by this evening. It's going to be very different by tomorrow as well. It's something that we'll be keeping a close eye on. And if it starts to look like something that we want to be a little more wary about, obviously, we will keep you updated. We'll have another look at your forecast in just a moment, and we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m. The only Ferrari 250 GTO ever made in white sells for millions of dollars. That and more at 7 a.m.
This is your Wake Up recap for January 19th, your top stories to start your day. Police in Springdale, Arkansas were alerted to a disturbance early yesterday morning. Officers arrived to find a female suffering multiple stab wounds. She was rushed to a hospital and her status is currently unknown. The suspect has been identified as 25-year-old Ladarius Green, who fled the scene with a young passenger. Their car crashed in Fayetteville and Green fled the scene. However, the juvenile was still in the vehicle and was able to be reunited with his family. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And it's very cold out there this morning. Not a lot of movement on these temperatures. Upper 20s for our highs today with those north winds gusting to 25. We're talking wind chills about 5 to 10 above. Winds become calm late this evening as skies clear out. Then they'll switch out of the southwest at 5 to 10. We're back into the upper teens. That'll keep our wind chills still about 5 to 10 above. Seasonably warm tomorrow into the upper 40s, near 50 for Wednesday. Still breezy. Yes, we are watching snow chances as we head Friday into Saturday. Don't panic yet. A lot of data still to go over, but we'll keep you updated as we get closer. Either way, snow or not, it's going to get really cold again as we head into the upcoming weekend.
You know my opinion that if it's going to be this cold, we might as well.
It's supposed to snow. I just don't want it to snow, like 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah. Well, thanks,
A couple of
Chris.
inches is fine.
Yes. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making Southwest sausage chili in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
As your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings, coming up, award-winning actor Billy Bob Thornton. We'll discuss the season 2 finale of the hit Paramount Plus series Landman.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Lori Langley is in the studio helping show us how to make one of her delicious recipes.
Plus, Roblox says it's adding new safety features for kids, but concerns remain about online risks on the platform. What parents need to know. It's going to wrap it up for us for now, though. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.